How's it going? My name is William, and this is my so-called life.
Get the most fun out of life, out of being a mother and wife, with new fashion excitement that's all created by you. On your new Touch and Sew
Sewing machine by Singer.
Touch and Sew.
Another first from Singer.
Be the girl with the golden touch on your new Singer Golden Touch and Sew machine. Dozens of exclusive features, like this new built-in needle threader for the golden slant needle and the push-button bobbin that winds right in the machine. What a wonderful new feeling. You can do all three kinds of sewing: straight, zigzag, and chain stitch.
Touch and Sew, the push-button bobbin way.
Come sew on one at your Singer Center. Choose from 5 Touch and Sew models from $149.95.
What's new for tomorrow
Is at Singer today.
They're just touching Touchtronic memory machines.
Incredible.
I'm Polly Bergen. Only Singer makes machines this easy to use. Touch. The memory remembers your stitch pattern instantly. Touchtronic speed control remembers to adjust your fabric thickness. What about basting? Touch. Great. You can forget about your sewing machine and concentrate on sewing. The Touchtronic memory machine family. Come take a test, Touch.
Awesome. How's it going? Welcome to my so-called life. My name is William. I hope everybody's having a good evening. Is that No, I just I put my camera and I just started skating in circles in the gym. But it's fun. It's fun. How's everybody doing? Hello, hello. That's what I say, Joy. His intro is way too long. Actually, I made it that long on purpose because it gives me time to run around. Awesome. I have a ton of stuff to get through today. If I get there, maybe not. I hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to my so-called life. It's been a crazy day. But before we get to the mayhem that is this channel, this program is for entertainment purposes only, and its content is not intended to malign any religion, lack thereof, race, company, individual, or wigs. All opinions expressed by my so-called life and program participants are solely their personal views and do not reflect the views of every single human being on planet Earth. I hope everybody has a great evening flying my so-called life airlines. Bailey in the back. Yeah, we're going old school this evening. Touch a new bar. Hello. Great to see you. Welcome to my so-called life. Yay. Hello. So today has definitely been a crazy day. I received a patch that I have this weird 3 a.m. thing where I order a patch and it doesn't arrive for 4 or 5 months. I ordered this patch and I completely forgot that it showed up, and my chair is extra creaky today. And the funny thing is, I thought this patch was going to be half of the size. But it's cool. I got another back patch. I truly thought it was going to be a patch for my shirt. But it happens. Awesome. I've decided, yay, hello, Pam. So let me start at the top. How's it going, Alibaba? Pam, great to see you as always. Kilroy, hello, number one. Joy, great to see you. Touch Noir, hello. Anybody? Oh, Trees, great to see you, Trees. Awesome. If I missed you, hello. So I'm still on my Tweed adventure. As you can see, I have WKRP in Cincinnati going off in the background, and I'm stuck in my 1970s style. So I'm going to I was trying to think what I should make, because I'm going for the full tweed suit look, and I'm definitely going to make a vest. It took me a minute to figure out what I was going to do because, as they say, it's always in the details. So I didn't know what I was going to line the back of the vest was. I had no idea what I was going to do, but I figured it out. Hello. How are you doing, Waternay? Great to see you. You should come in and join the fun. So before we get to any of the usual madness, I went thrifting yesterday, and not as hardcore as I normally would. I purchased a few things. I purchased my dress form, and you know what? Waternay helped me out because it's only 4 inches bigger than me, but it looks so much bigger than I am. And I guess 4 inches is a difference when it comes to clothes because that is 2 different sizes. But I'm still keeping the dress form. Yeah, hello, everybody. Great to see everybody. So I go to all kinds of thrift stores all over LA County, and it's to the point now where I've had to map it out because there's so many. It's unbelievable how many thrift stores there are just in my corner of LA County. So I went back to one of my old haunts because that's the place where I scored all of my patterns. Give me one quick second. It's the place where I've purchased every single old time pattern that I have. Everything has come from that store. Yay, 4 inches is a difference. That's what I was waiting, Kilroy. I was waiting for you to say that. Hello. So, I make clothes for everybody, for anybody. If your check clears, I am here for you. So I'm constantly buying patterns. And as someone who collects everything, I've fallen into the world of vintage patterns. And it's really funny. They resell for double, triple, quadruple the price. So I've kind of, in a weird way, fallen into that world, and it's always because of reselling. I've made a ton of money off of patterns, and because of this one place, I go back every once in a while, but I still have 2 huge boxes of patterns that I purchased from this place, and I feel like I've bought everything, and every once in a while when I walk in there, I find something new. You bang that mic around and you wonder why it pops out of everything is fully functioning here in the house of sewing. Everything gets moved around. It's hardcore. It's like American Gladiators in here. So I found these patterns because, style's reciprocal. Style always comes back. If you think it's out of style, it'll come back. Look at Janko's. Where I live, it makes me laugh when I see kids dressing like it's 1996 with the full Janko, 1994 with the full Jankos with the baggy shirt. So style comes and goes. So I'm constantly buying patterns, and I purchased 3 patterns because, like I said, I think I bought everything from this place. But this first one is from 1992. It's a buttrick pattern. And this looks like a sitcom with the hat and everything. It takes me back. I literally hung out with those people back in the day. I absolutely laughed when I saw it. I fell on the ground when I saw that. The other 2 patterns are definitely vintage. Some patterns are hard to find and in good shape. Absolutely. And that's part of the game too, is that most patterns I found that people have, they're not like me where I cut out the patterns, but most are still completely intact with instructions and everything. That's definitely Punky Brewster. Well, Punky Brewster, I have so much trouble finding men's patterns. That's one of the weird reasons. If I see anything that's a men's pattern and it's affordable, I buy it. Mimi G kind of cornered the market and she figured it out. I'm not kidding you. I've paid $30 for a pattern. I've paid like 25. So you have to be careful. And they know they have you with men's patterns. That's why they charge you more. That's definitely Punky Brewster. So I love a good 1970s pattern. Most of the time, it's for the artwork. And this room is filled. This is from 1973. Oh, look at that. They are just partying right there. That's because you believe in actually living life. Life's too short to trace. Brand new pattern. Gilroy, that should be on a t-shirt somewhere. You're a t-shirt mill. But I laughed when I saw this. And you know what the funny thing is? This style is going to come right back in. It's going to come right back. Or maybe it's never left. And the next pattern that I found was... This made me laugh. Look how cool. Look how cool. That is somebody's grandmother. And look how cool she is. Both of them. I love these old school patterns. They're like time capsules. The pictures, it absolutely captures the moment of, this is from 1972. Oh, and look at those pants. Oh, that's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. That yells fondue party. I'm okay with fondue, but when gazpacho pods start coming out, I'm running. That's absolutely groovy, Ali Papa. Absolutely. Well, when Warren gets here, I have a few questions, but we're okay. So today I saw someone wearing an overalls shorts combo. Did that ever go out of style? Just a quick question from old Uncle Sewing here. Because I'm like, excuse me. Because part of me was like, wait a minute, that reminds me of like Belle Biv DeVoe's style, back in the day when people would wear shorts with overall shorts. Did that style ever go away? Or did overalls go out of style? Clothes to fall asleep and after. What did you think when you saw that outfit? Well, my question is like, did shorts oh my gosh, excuse me, did overall shorts go out of style? It kind of tripped me out when I saw that because it brought me all the way back, but it kind of makes me laugh. Like there are certain things that never go out of style because people refuse to let them go, and I see you and I appreciate you. But did that combo go out of style? Or, should we just keep on wearing things regardless of what people think? Says the guy who wears Jinkos and bell bottoms anyway. Style is so reciprocal. It's one of those funny things. Those overall shorts never sold in Canada around me. I saw someone wearing them today and I was like, wow, it brought me back to like the old school days. I see overalls all the time. All right, let's see. I'm going to grab my table in a second. Oh, today has definitely been a crazy day. But like I was trying to think of different nicknames for myself. If you had a pirate name, what would you call yourself? Or no, let's switch that. What would you call the style in which you dress? Like I call what I dress, I call it kind of like pirate core, Fred Sanford couture, Willie Nelson chic. What is this style? Like what would you call your style? Well, for Canadians, the shorts overalls was more British from 1980s-ish. That's what I figured. That's what I figured. But what would you call your style? I sometimes frumpy. I'm the same way. I'm a jeans and t-shirt kind of guy. Like I call my style, like again, pirate core, Willie Nelson chic, Fred Sanford couture. I would be 17th century, 18th century, high class, drunk pirate. I'm there. I am there. I love that. American graffiti. I like that. I like West Side Story. Just start snapping and singing. Because I was thinking today, what are they going to call our style 100 years from now? I look back at every era and all of this started because of the tweed. I'm Googling tweed this and that, and tweed never went out of style. In a way, people stopped wearing suits. That's really what it is, but they still make tweed everything. And once again, I have fallen into a rabbit hole of sewing, but it kind of made me laugh. Like, what are they going to call our style? 50 years from now, 60 years from now, what are they going to say that how we dressed? I know my co-host will have an opinion on that one. Let me grab my table real quick. Let me grab my and I'm going to grab my vest. Hey, Quantum, how's it going? How's it going? Great to see you. Great to see you. So, Quantum, I have a question. What would you call your style? I'm asking everybody. Like, I'm all over the place with my style. How would you say that you dress? Or do you like Do you follow somebody? I dress like Fred Sanford, Willie Nelson, Val Kilmer now. If you see what Val Kilmer dresses like now, I'm like, oh, I dress like Val Kilmer. Hello, hello, hello. They might very well think it to be very true. Well, we are very like leisure, you know. But then in the 1960s and 70s, they had leisure suits, you know. I dress like I never care. So what would you call that though? I call mine like pirate chic, Fred Sanford couture. Hello, hello. And that's well, I'll save that question for Waternay, but I have another question. Oh man. I've been boycotting my Twitter. Should I return to Twitter? Today isn't leisure. It's Saran wrap. I've kind of let my Twitter just kind of fall by the wayside. I don't know if I should return to it. Lazy lion. I like that. I like that. See? There you go. You just invented something right now. Lazy lion. Polish looks pirate in her shirt. Absolutely. You know I'm fond for the pirates. You know I'm all about being able to look good and swashbuckle at the same time. No, if you go back to Twitter, I'm gonna go on. All I would do is post my vest and a quote. That's all I would do, and most of my quotes were from Eric Hoffer. Because I felt it was important to utterly and completely quote his book about mass movements. And so most of my quotes were loosely about what I was making at the time. I never got into Twitter rants. When people would come at me and say crazy things to me, I would literally type like this: I do not fight people on the internet. And let me tell you, that line works. It works. Just tell people, like when someone's trying to get nuts with you, you tell them, I don't fight people on the internet. Sorry. And also I'm literally here to sell. Oh. Oh, that's funny. I will find my pattern in a minute. But I'm going to use denim as the back because I have massive amounts of denim. And I've been cutting out my shape. Excuse me. I've been going along the directions of the pattern, but I may or may not use this lining or interfacing. We'll see what happens. But this is gonna look awesome. And it's perfect size. I have a feeling the back is gonna be a little bit too big, but that's what we're here for. We're here to engineer this vest, so we're gonna figure it out. All right, let me start taking these off. I should start with the back, but I'm gonna start with the front. I also need to find the pattern that this was on. Yay. Fighting people on the net is always absolutely. That's why I really can't even get into like a lot of the debates and things like that, because it just, I don't know. It's something good to listen to while I'm sewing, but it's just something I can't get into. Unless it's when someone says a taco is a... See, Alibaba knows how to get me. I will fight someone over a taco if you call a taco a sandwich. Yay, welcome back. You should join the fun. And if you fight somebody on the net, you can take it outside and teach them a lesson. So what's the point anyways? So true. I dropped my keyboard and got my mod pop up. Yikes. Oh, I didn't zap anybody. No, hold on. Let me check my phone. No, but I do that. You know, they do not make phones for people with hands as large as mine. So I do that all the time where I almost time somebody out all the time. It's Duke Ellington's birthday. Awesome. Awesome. You know what? Let me check. We need to bring that back real quick. And that just completely kicked me out. Ooh, yikes. I'll check in a minute. I used to check what day it was, but then we all got lives and started talking about sewing more. So I don't necessarily check and see like what. And died in 1974, born. Wow, 1899. Wow. So Alibaba answered my question, but would anybody rock the overall shorts combo? Every time I think of it, it reminds me of a Belle Biv DeVoe video from back in the day. And that was the style in the early 90s with a big Mad Hatter hat. I need to find the pattern for this. But it made me laugh because, you know, people are bringing back certain styles, or maybe it never left. But I'm thinking it's time for me to make some 1992 coverall. I keep on calling them coveralls. Some 1992 overalls combination. No overalls for me, period. I would not. That's 2 votes for no for nostalgia. I'm going to be that person. I'm going to be that old guy, which I already am. And they're going to be like, how old is that guy? Is he still wearing a vest? I need to find the pattern for this really quickly. Here it is. This is McCall. For anyone keeping score, this is McCall's men's vest L9531. And I thought this would be the perfect combo for under my tweed vest. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see what comes of it. Glad to see everybody. I gotta put that in with better order, or this thing is just gonna be a big puffy mess. Awesome. Today has definitely been a day of running around like a crazy person, but I took notes. All right, just making sure young Mr. Hands walks in and out of here. How's it going?
Hello. I just picked up some food.
Yay.
I am ready for a lovely evening with friends. How are you doing?
Negotiating with my child. Oh, let me see that real quick. Anytime I get anything cool, it gets volunteered and taken. Go ahead.
Just order 2 and save yourself the trouble.
Well, I found it at a thrift store. You know, I'm obsessed with tripods. You know, because I'm always filming, and I'm trying to make more shorts. And I thought that would encourage it.
I was confused for a second. When you said make more shorts, I was thinking like, you know, shorts with overall bibs and whatnot.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, I thought you meant make more YouTube shorts. Oh, goodness.
Oh, both.
Are we on the same page now?
Who's on first? Who's on second? I think I'm time traveling. Awesome. So, how's everything?
I'm doing all right. I helped my mom out today. She's stressed and has a headache. So
that's gonna be the chapter number 1 in my book. Yay! I knew Pam would appreciate the combo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring that back.
Pam makes some nice overalls. Excuse me, Pameralls.
And I think it's also because I'm obsessed with that particular era. And if we're bringing things back, we might as well bring back the cool. Do you know how mad I was when the flat top came back in style and I'm bald? Do you know?
I'm sorry.
There's so many fixated on YouTube shorts. It's addicting all the time. Because I homeschool my son. I walk in. One of the reasons he gets his phone taken away is because I just get this feeling. I'm like, why is he quiet? Why is he so quiet in there? Why is he so quiet in there? Because he's doing this on YouTube Shorts.
They suck you in, and you're like, just one more. They're like potato chips.
Oh, that's why I only lasted, I think, 48 hours on TikTok. I told myself legitimately I don't need another service to be addicted to doom scroll on.
Who's your fave Alibaba who does the shorts? Yeah, it's hard because it's like, oh, this person's on this platform and this person's on this platform, and it's.
I have a question for you now. I have several now that you're here.
Okay, I may or may not have answers. I'll do my best.
I have a few questions for you, actually. Do you want to go dreams or beards?
What?
Which would you rather talk about first, dreams or beard? I have a question for both.
Okay, beards.
When did beards become popular? I think there should be a rule. You can't have a beard unless you can drop a tree and change a tire, and you have to like show an official with a giant beard.
I don't know. I found a meme and it had this guy with this like full beard, and the caption says, "My eyes are up here."
I love that. It's just weird to me because everyone's rocking beards nowadays. And I mean, like teenagers, little dogs are walking around with fake beards. Everyone's got a beard now. I shaved my beard 2 weeks ago because I was like tired of looking like everybody else.
I prefer a shorter, tidier beard than the mountain man thing. But I know that a lot of guys who can grow that are very proud of their facial hair.
I'll go with like the Don Johnson scruffy beard. I watched a lot of Miami Vice as a kid. Literally, that was what was on television. I'm down for that, but like, I don't know. I think it's also because I'm immersed in the MMA world and everybody looks like a lumberjack. Some 12-year-old comes in with a beard. I'm an extremely observant human. She does a lot of cosplay outfits as well. People with weak chins, though, they could cover it up with a beard when they just look 12 years old with a beard. I have a cousin who he's in his 30s. He looks like he's 15 to me.
I understand.
And even I saw him last Christmas. He's kind of balding and he still looks 15. He looks like a 15-year-old with a receding hairline. She collects vintage antique sewing stuff and machine and keeps old-fashioned outfits.
Ooh. Who is this person we're talking about? Is that the name of the channel? Annabelle and Ben's Antics?
I think so.
Okay.
I've actually weirdly fallen into people online who collect vintage outfits. It's a whole world I didn't know about.
There's some neat stuff out there.
Do you have any like old school vintage stuff? I have a Pendleton I have my grandfather's Pendleton robe that I know for a fact is like double my age.
I have,
Well, I'm old. It's not that old, but it's old.
I have a couple pieces that are vintage, and I have one like antique bodice with jet beads. I need to get like a conservator's box for it.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Maybe I'll see if somebody wants to purchase that.
And if anyone's wondering, you are not hearing things, we have a special, well, they live here now. The crickets are a part of my show, and I just accept them for what they are. But roaches don't scream and crickets yell. No, because I don't want people to be like, am I hearing, especially if you have headphones on, they're like, those crickets? Yes, those are crickets. He's got to get a nice drinking and coffee smoking habit that'll bring his look in line with his age. The beard thing's tripping me out. Everyone has a beard now. Everyone.
Mm.
I might be getting an 18 hot hat, somewhat okay shape, no box.
Wow. I think Alibaba's saying top hat.
Oh, okay. You're robotic. And the weather is actually it's getting hot again. It was almost 80 today.
I'm not ready. All right, I'm gonna jump out and jump back in.
Awesome. Oh, a top hat. Okay, that makes way more sense. I definitely want to get back into making hats. That is something I love doing. That way, like out of all the phases I've been through, making hats was just so much fun.
Ta-da!
Yay! Do you know how Universal is turning something off and turning it back on? That's like the answer for a lot of things. Not everything. Not everything.
Either that or percussive maintenance.
Oh no, we don't need details. Just turn it off and turn it back on. Beards used to be like tattoos. Used to be having one meant you weren't one of the squares, but the squares have them now. It's the strangest thing. And I'm not judging. I'm constantly looking at people's style. I'm looking to see what people are wearing, and it's just weird to me that everyone has a beard. And it's hot. It's hot. It's like here where I live, it's extremely hot again. I'm not ready for summer, and I say that every year.
It sounds nice in theory, but in practice, I'm just not down.
$21. I used to be in electronic quality control. If a unit failed inspection, we'd turn it off and on and try it again before calling it bad and troubleshooting. I'm telling you. I am telling you. That's like a lot of I'm obsessed with antiquated and old technology. A lot of stuff is just unused. And I'm not kidding you. I switch the batteries out, or I'll just oil a sewing machine and it turns right back on.
Yeah.
Wrong angle. It's funny how that happens. But again, it's maintenance.
I think a lot of times people like just set something aside and don't come back to it, rather than there being something actually wrong with it.
True. Okay, so I asked you about beards. What was the other question I had?
Oh, something about dreams?
Have you ever had a dream where you woke up angry and it ruins your day? Because guess what I had?
Sometimes I have like adventure dreams, and then you wake up and you say, that was not restful.
Yes. If you wake up emotionally exhausted, that is not restful. A lot of the times, people forgot that there are batteries inside of things, so batteries go dead, and they think that the thing is bad when the batteries are just dead.
Yeah.
And when batteries explode, people do not clean the terminals and take away the battery acid.
Right.
I bought a Walkman at a bundle at a bin Walmart. I'm sorry, a bin Goodwill. If anyone's been to a bin Goodwill, it's intense.
Oh, it's traumatizing.
So I just grabbed all this stuff and I saw this weird Pepsi Walkman and I grabbed it, and inside it was all corroded and everything. I just took it off. I got a steel brush and I cleaned it off and it works.
Nice.
And I basically got it for free because in bin Goodwills you pay for the weight.
And so is it for your cassettes?
Yeah, I got to listen to the Oak Ridge Boys, Bobby Brown, and Tchaikovsky somehow.
Alibaba says, I'm sorry, not Alibaba. Kilroy says, that's why I like rechargeables. Even Duracell will blow up over time. Even the cheap rechargeables never blow up.
You know, actually, that's really true. That's true.
Yeah.
My pops had these weird rechargeables plugged in that he didn't tell anybody, and I found them like they were like he had them in a cabinet. They never exploded. He had them in there for years and years. I bet.
I
They
just
didn't
stopped.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, finish.
No, I was just gonna say they didn't expand or anything.
Oh, nice. I just kind of stopped putting batteries in certain things because you'd go back and the batteries would be like exploded or corroded or they've gone dead, or it's almost better to just like, if it's something you don't use very often, to just put batteries in it when you go to use it.
It depends on what it is, and now everything takes a certain battery, so I bought a box. Batteries are so expensive.
Oh,
I bought a box of like 300 or 400 double A's, and I did the same with triple A's. I spent a lot of money.
300 or 400?
Yeah, I have quite a few. I will
Wow.
not run out of a battery anytime soon in my house. Well, all these weird flashlights run on smaller batteries now. My son has an Oculus. He has all kinds of crazy stuff.
So how long does it take you to go through 300 batteries?
Sorry, give me one quick second.
Sure. Uh-oh. Now I have to be entertaining.
No, it's okay. One of my monitors was not cooperating and I could see it from far away.
Oh, okay.
That's what happens when you're sitting in a room of tech. Says the guy who would be okay if we got rid of cars and just went back to horses.
Well, that's tough for maintenance, long distances. I don't know.
A horse will go far. He's got to give it water and oats.
Yeah, but you've got to ride it all that way. I mean, I suppose you could use like a carriage or something, but
there's modern day saddles that won't have you walking like a cowboy.
They're not very fast for distances. We're spread out in California.
You're not liking my anti-technology idea, huh?
Well, I like a lot of anti-technology, but I'm not sure that I can get behind you on going back to horses. I mean, horses they're nice, but I'm not sure that they're serviceable for the day-to-day.
We actually bred them, so that's their only purpose.
Yeah, but we've moved on.
I like your rebuttal. I'm pro horse.
And yes, I do actually know how to ride a horse. let's see. So batteries. Kilroy said, no, it wasn't Kilroy. It was Alibaba. I had 1980s rechargeable AA batteries that I found again in 1881. I think. Do we mean 1981? Use them for 3 years.
This is the meeting of time travelers. So if Alibaba says 1881, I believe Alibaba.
Then let them sit until 2019 and they still hold a charge, just not long. Interesting. I used to.
Yay, hi Mona.
To use a spoke shave and make wagon wheels, including banding. Ooh. Oh, use an anvil?
Ooh.
There's a carriage maker that I follow on YouTube. The only trouble is that, for carriage works, we used to have a wheelwright, and we had the people who did the furniture, and we had this, all, and that, and the other.
Bring it all back.
And now it's like one guy.
Yesterday, I almost bought a VCR rewinder. Let's bring all the old technology back. I talked myself out of it, though. I was like, you'll cry if this thing doesn't work. Hi, Mona. How's it going? Great to see you. Great to see you.
Hello, Mona. Who else did I miss while I was grabbing food?
I'm trying to figure out what to line this with. This is the problem with having a room, of living in a fabric store. I have all these options, so I'm like stuttering of what I really want to line this with.
How about white?
Yeah,
or
but it's
cream?
not gonna go with my green.
Cream.
Okay. I was about to say that's like full Joker suit right there. I'm here but sewing. Joy, that's actually was gonna be one of my questions. What's everybody sewing this evening? What's everyone doing? What's everyone eating? I'm continuing on my path towards the tweed suit.
Nice.
But if I don't have enough material, I'm gonna make a combo of denim and tweed bell bottoms. But I don't want to promise anything because I don't know how much material I have.
So like denim on the back with tweed patch pockets, and then tweed in the front.
Yeah, because
That could be fun.
I have access to, for the first time in a long time, I have access to affordable denim.
Mm-hmm.
So I've gone kind of crazy with buying it. And why is black denim so coveted? Why do people not, why is the price so high for black denim?
I don't know. Is it like actually more expensive to produce, or is it just that they can charge more, so they do?
I think it's more B than A, because every vendor I've been to, they charge more for black denim.
Mm-hmm.
Mona says demand. I agree. There was somebody that said $15 and they were like, I walked away and they're like, do you even want to negotiate? I just kept walking. I was like, I am not in the mood for you, sir. Oh, let's see what this oopsie looks like. Because it's kind of, wow, that's too brown. This is kind of brown. This oopsie is kind of brown. And the other one's kind of orange.
What kind of orange?
1970s burnt pumpkin, WKRP in Cincinnati, Venus flytrap orange.
I don't know. I'm feeling cream for this.
Oh, let's go look in the pile. I kind of want to use my carpet material, but I don't think I have enough just because it's really stiff and it gives it integrity. But the more I think about it, tweed is hot. And so if I'm going to add a hot material on something that's already hot, I'm going to be baking like a baked potato in that thing.
Well, you'd be cozy for winter.
Dude, as a Southern Californian, I have a question. What is this thing, winter, that you speak of?
I mean, we get cold. Just because everyone else thinks it's balmy doesn't mean we're not cold.
Freezing. I do get freezing.
Let's see. So we've got a couple things going on in the chat. Alibaba says I can source 1901 Cadillac hubs right now. That would be awesome. And then Kilroy says, BS, you're spread out. Drive through Colorado and Nebraska. That's really spread out. I didn't mean that kind of spread out. I meant urban sprawl, where anything that you want to go to in town is like far away through lots of.
You'd be surprised, though. Most of America, California included, is rural. Like, we live in pockets, you know?
Yeah. Let's see. Alibaba's not so sure about 1908 hubs, just the 1901s and 1880s were good to go. Mona said hi. We said hi back. Oops, 1991. Let's see. Joy is here, but sewing. I hope your sewing's going well.
We've already. I read that one.
Oh, you read that one? Okay. And then Kilroy said, you'd be surprised how much goes into a modern car wheel. Modern wheels employ more people than old ones.
Hey, Skits! It's rural where Skits lives, and Skits lives in California. You know what's really funny? People forget about NorCal.
So, should they secede?
Who?
Northern California.
I think everybody needs to take a deep breath, eat a Snickers, and get a coloring book. Everybody get a coloring book, get a hobby. That is my new thing. Like, no, I think everybody needs to eat 3 regular meals.
The other option is that California secedes from the Union, and then we become, maybe like what, three states? Works for Portugal.
Oh God, you're gonna have me singing Footloose early. What's that?
I said you're not down with that. It's just a thought experiment.
No, people need to learn how to get along. I have to get my George Costanza speech. We live in a society, and we should all get along. You need to get a habit. Start sewing. Get a fabric habit. You won't have time to hate on people. I'm constantly thinking, what should I make? Where should I go? Hey, there's a new fabric store over here. Nowhere in that process is me being political in any way, shape, or form. California should really be 2 states. The Kingdom of Bakersfield. I'd live there. I think Van Nuys is on a different planet already. I go there all the time. You are so that is so true. Don't give those state of Jeffers. Absolutely. See, Skits knows what I'm talking about. You'd be sanctioned so hard that you turn into this third world country. I need to get my pins. I need to take my boots off. Oh, hold on. I do like doing this. I like going from tall to short. This is me with boots. This is me literally. Gosh, that is such a difference. Without my boots.
You're having your Mr. Rogers moment.
It's a beautiful day in the sewing room. I'm walking away, but I'll be back real soon.
Let's see. Oh, Mona made a project bag and started a quilt.
Awesome.
Mona, have you tried that? I've seen a couple people do it. I've seen, pardon my pronunciation, Christine Vike. And then Shannon Makes did the sort of Victorian crazy quilting with the fun embroidery stitches and things. That looks interesting. It's on my list somewhere. Alibaba says cream lining for the burnt pumpkin, question mark. Depends on the weight of the tweed for something. Kilroy says, bullshit, you don't get cold. And I try to explain to these people from the East that we're delicate here and we get cold. It feels cold to us. We acclimate. If you move here, you'll acclimate too. Couple years, you'll be buying a nice cozy coat like the rest of us.
Alibaba. Oh, and there goes the Shatners. Yes, I know. I just want to be tall, so I wear shoes that make me tall. I know many award-winning quilters. Alibaba and
Ooh.
Mona says, "Yes, I've seen that, but haven't tried it yet." Where's my notes? I have more questions. When did wearing suits go out of style?
Sorry, I'm just giggling at Kilroy's comment. Kilroy's up in arms today. Kilroy, I was only talking about the weather in the Northeast. You get severe weather. It gets quite cold there. You know, there was no criticism intended. It was merely meteorological. I can't say it. Meteorological conversation. Let's see. Alibaba says wearing suits never went out of style. What were you saying? Before I was soothing Kilroy's ruffled feathers?
I was like, okay, I watch old-timey hockey. So there'll be a game from like the 1950s, okay? It's in black and white. If you look in the audience, every single person is wearing a suit.
Mm-hmm.
And all the women are wearing like pea coats. Like people are dressed to the nines.
Yeah. Well, we've had this conversation before.
Well, it was more my initial step into this conversation was more about shoes because people, I wear boots, so it always looks more formal than what it really is,
Well, a nice pair of boots dress up any outfit.
Absolutely. I love it when people tell me they love my shoes, but when was that era when people were like, I'm going to stop wearing three-piece suits?
Well, it depends because, I was going to say that in offices that people, but even that, the, the vest kind of went away and it was
very much so, or it's what I call 1990s vampire with just the suit jacket with jeans. That's 1990s vampire.
Those 90s vampires knew how to dress.
When I feel like when I'm having a real bad day, I put on my Don Johnson gear.
Yeah,
See, but they were still wearing suits. Sorry. They were still wearing suits, even though they were teal green and aqua blue.
Well, they wore like slacks and a jacket, but they weren't necessarily a suit because they would have different colors and
it was that weird cutoff shirt where it was like it was a suit top, but it was half a sleeve.
Well, you'd often see them too in like colored sherbet colored t-shirts and
oh man, I remember that era. I think it's because I obsessively watched television as a kid. I remember that era. And now if I dressed like that, people would literally point and laugh at me.
I don't know. You wear it with style, people might just be envious.
They're always envious. That's why they're pointing and laughing. Perfect. Perfect. I'm lining this with black. I have miles and miles of black material, and you can never go wrong with black.
I don't know. I think black is a little weighty for the color of the rest of it.
I've got this feeling. This town is holding me down. I need to start from the top. You know, I actually know all the words to that song now.
Because you've been listening to it so much?
Yeah, and I proved it to myself at the grocery store. And I found out everybody who was over 50 there. Because
Alibaba said, I wanted a 3-piece. I ended up with a pale blue suit, poly, of course, darker blue trim, and loud blue Hawaiian type floral shirt, and Buster Brown shoes.
I would rock that. I would rock that.
I can picture that so clearly.
Perfect. Perfect.
So I've been listening to a lot of Teddy Swims these last few days. He's amazing. And I just heard for the first time his cover of Let Me Love You by Mario. It's excellent. I added it to my roller skating playlist, which I believe is public. So if you want some nice, urban music you can skate to, look for Waterdays. It's called Dance Music - Roller Skating.
De La Soul has a song about it's called Saturday, but it's a roller skate song. And every time you say that, I have 5 days of work, 2 days of play. Come on, everybody, it's time to get away. I love that song. That is my roller skating song. I put that on in the gym and I turn the speakers up. And to anyone wondering, I have an actual CD player in the gym. It's this weird thing that you put discs in.
What? I'm sorry, I don't understand. Why would you put a disc in?
And I think that thing has been in there since like the 90s.
This is all very esoteric.
I told you I'm antiquated. I'm like a James Bond movie. You got to explain it to anyone born after, anyone under 30.
Now I've got the James Bond theme in my head.
Okay, so the back seems humongous to me. Am I that big? Am I this big? I guess I am. Because I don't want the vest to be too baggy.
That does look.
Am I that big?
Did you cut out the front panels by accident?
I only look like I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, mistakes happen.
I guess I am that big, kind of. You know what? Measure 5 times and cut once. My living room has officially become like Gold's Gym now.
Well, somebody needs gains.
Oh my gosh, he has a YouTube channel and my son berates people for not working out. And I'm like, dude, that's not how you gain followers, man. It's not. Let me talk to you, son. But he's in that hardcore phase of like, this is working for me. Why doesn't everybody else do this? Which is quite logical, but human beings are like lemmings.
Well, some
gonna-
people do well with that kind of motivation. The shaming, the criticism.
Not me. No.
I mean, I'm more of an encouragement sort of person myself, but
He made me laugh though the other day where he was like, "Oh, you watch my YouTube channel?" I was like, "Of course I watch your YouTube channel, kid." I thought your sewing room was your Gold's Gym. It is. You know what's so funny? This is my man cave. Me
why
and
not?
I make drapes in my man cave and I watch hockey. I watch baseball in here. I just make dusters and mind my own business as well. I love it when people they'll say like, "Oh, this is my man cave." Like, well, I'm a man and I hide in here.
You know, your man cave slash she shed can be whatever you want it to be.
Why are you trying to Care Bear everything? You had to say she shed. Why did I make that perfect? Why is it
Woohoo!
perfect? All right, I'm gonna line it and we're just gonna call it a vest.
Oh yeah, see, also you hadn't done seam allowance. That
Oh,
was
that's
gonna make it
perfect.
look wider.
Oh, that's perfect. It's kind of like when I looked at that mannequin and I was like, I'm that big. No, I'm not that big. And I measured myself and I'm not too far off.
Mm.
I need you to tell me that 4 inches is in it's 2 different sizes.
4 inches is two different sizes. It's 2 sizes difference in men's.
You didn't say that as enthusiastic as you said yesterday.
Well, I was trying not to get quoted and screen capped by Kilroy.
Well, it already happened for me, so we're here. We're here now. All right, let me put some of this away.
Oh, Alibaba likes my roller skating playlist. Thank you, Alibaba.
All right, I think first I'm going to sew the back. Seam allowances for lazy pricks get to work and slap it together. You'd be a great foreman. You were born for my job. You would be a great foreman. Because you get to run around and ridicule people all day long. Well, look at wood. I think if I tended my house, the crickets would come back in force to avenge their friends. That is no serger. It cuts extra bits off anyways. Only had roller skates one time. Scary. I have my skates are in my car right now. That's how much I rollerblade.
I was very pleased when I was at, I don't know, TJ Maxx or something like that, and I saw a pair of Skechers sneaker skates in my size. I said, "Score!"
I told you about my dream about having Heelys, and they make them in size 13 too. I just haven't hit that button on Amazon yet because I can't justify it. I want Heelys so bad. When Isaiah was younger, all the kids would just be gliding through the hallways. And I was like, what are those beautiful things on their feet? They were Heelys. TJ Maxx skates would fall apart like a wet newspaper.
They're just some Skechers.
I want Heelys so bad, but that's like 3 or 4 times past my generation. No Heelys, you'll shoot your eye out. That's so real, though. That is so real.
Okay, I've clearly missed something.
That's from Christmas Carol. When he gets the Red Ryder BB gun. And they constantly tell him you'll shoot your eye out, and then he does. Oh, and spoiler, if you haven't seen that movie, come on. Oh, I forget there's people that are younger than me that exist.
I don't think I don't know. I maybe saw like a clip of that, but I don't think I've ever seen that whole movie. If I did,
There is like there is a whole list of things that you Oh, okay. So earlier I was talking about my style. Like, what do I call my style? I
uh-huh.
call it pirate core, Fred Sanford couture, or Willie Nelson chic, or
Mhm.
layered. What- My Roman name. All right, you're gonna love this one. This is what these are the amazing things I sit around and think about in the car. My Roman name would be Soas Interruptus. No.
What?
I love sewing and I interrupt everybody. It's a bad habit. Soas Interruptus. Oh, and I have
All
another
right.
question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What does couture mean? And why does everybody call everything couture?
Well, I just saw a lovely video on that by um Claudia what's her name? Wait, Claudia? Let me go grab the book. But
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
she was saying, there's in France there are certain standards for couture, and you have to have a workshop with a certain number of employees, and you have to release a certain number of pieces each season, and
Oh, that's what it really means?
yeah, there's like a very specific thing, and like hand sewing and all of that, like very few machine seams and things like.
Have
So
a
like
great night, Mona. Thank you for stopping by.
Bye, Mona. So couture is like a very specific thing, and it's also like made for the client. They release a collection, and then they have the client's measurements, and then they make specifically for the client.
I watched quite a few people that have built they're fashion designers, and they've started from their YouTube channel and their garage literally to being real fashion designers. So I've always wondered, because there's one I watch in particular, and he always is screaming to his employees like, we're not couture enough or this or that. And it's just, maybe I'm not getting what he's saying.
Well, maybe what he's referring to is it's a lot of like special hand sewing techniques and things that give you the fit that you want, and the invisible stitching on the outside and all of that. And a lot of home sewists get into that because they like those finishes, and they'll use a lot of those couture techniques at home.
It's one of those weird things where sometimes I'm like, because there are certain words that, generations redefine things, and that's okay. I'm okay if they say something and I'm like, I don't know what that means anymore. Flavio, see, Alibaba gets it. I love Maximus Surgica. I love that. Flavius Gene. See, you could go off with Roman names and sewing nomenclatures. I was watching the latest finds at Pompeii and Herculaneum just before this.
Oh, wow.
I have been watching that too. I'm obsessed with that because of Mary Beard. That's so fun. Alibaba and I have very similar tastes. Julius Serger sold. That is gonna be.
Hilbert gets a prize for best pun.
Oh, I like that one. I have to ask the question. Did you go to Orange Julius back in the day?
I did. I've also had a Hercules flip.
Oh wow. I was obsessed with Orange Julius. Obsessed. I have trouble with the way they used to talk in Victorian times too now. Absolutely. Absolutely, Kilroy. I never went to an Orange Julius. I grew up in the American mall culture. Cinnabon, hot dog on a stick. Oh,
Auntie Anne's,
obsessed. Obsessed with Auntie Anne's. Sabaro.
Mrs. Fields.
Oh, even who's the people that have the hot dog eating contest every year?
I don't know.
What's it called though? Nathan's?
I don't
They
know.
they put one in my local mall when I worked there in the 90s. I was obsessed. I was obsessed with their food. Hercules flips sounds like an unpopular 70s dance. Only time I ever knew an Orange Julius is when they redid the Dairy Queen around here and added Orange Julius in it. I could smell it just talking about it. Yeah, I should sell this piece. Were you a mall? You don't. I don't know. I was a mall rat. Did you go to the mall often?
I mean, that was the thing. That's what you did.
Okay, just checking.
Who didn't go to the mall?
You know what though? I wouldn't let my son wander around the mall like my parents let me. And we always say, "Oh, it's a different time," but really, we're just more aware, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, because back in the day, kids ran around more, so they had. I think that they had better awareness and safety procedures because they'd grown up that way.
I think the closest thing I ever had is frozen concentrate from a can. That's amazing. Are you kidding me? Those frozen cans remind me of back in the day. Like, oh, now I'm craving for frozen orange juice. It is fantastic. I love using that frozen concentrate. It's absolutely killer, Roy. Absolutely. I'm obsessed. Never ever was a mall person. Always hated them. I was obsessed as a kid. And it's where I gained my pretzel and nacho cheese habit.
I like a good soft pretzel, though.
Oh, they put a Wetzel's pretzels in the Walmart that's like 3 or 4 Walmarts from my house. My son and I go at least once a month. And we each get a pretzel, then we get a bag of pretzel bites. And proceed to fight over them.
That's a lot of pretzel.
Oh, it's like a pretzel loaf. Only sometimes. No malls. Wow. My guitar shop was in a mall. You never got those cheesy mall shots?
The glamour shots photos.
Oh, those were the days. Don't make me pull out the piano.
I did not get that. No. But I've seen other people's photos.
Those pictures should live on forever. I love it when people post those on Facebook. They're like, look at how lame we were. Especially, I have a bunch of friends. They would go all the time, and they would they thought they were so tough, and now they just look like they're in a K-pop band. Because if you think about it, they made they were trying to be tough in the pictures and all hard, but the background had hearts and it was glossy. They looked like they were in a K-pop band.
I mean, I feel like K-pop bands would really love a good glamour shots experience.
They were born 30 years too late, but they are definitely part of the glamour shot. I've never lived in a place populated enough for a photo booth. That's crazy. In the mall, they had next to the Sears, they had a glamour shots place, and that place was thriving.
I even know someone who had boudoir shots done.
That was a thing too.
We're watching. Here we have the sewist in his natural environment.
I feel like we're golfing right now. You turned into a golf commentator when you started talking over my sewing.
Watch as he stitches evenly down the center back seam, avoiding pins.
He obviously hasn't oiled this machine in years.
It does sound a little dry.
I can't say that on YouTube. I was going to say something. I can't say it on YouTube. Never mind. Never mind. Not 5 days. Now I have Saturday by De La Soul stuck in my head. 5 days of work, 1 whole day of play. Come on, everybody. Okay. Do you know what's so? I laughed so hard. Do you know, everybody? I made Waternay watch Big Scoob for the second time, and Waternay was like, "We've already seen this." I love that song, and because I can't relate to it, it's extra hard. I love that. Every suburban loves hardcore music like that. And I told you I met the guy, and he was really nice.
Look at you doing a felled seam.
I always talk about it, people that have no natural predators. Why would anybody ever mess with this guy?
I mean, he didn't look like someone to mess with.
See, in his beard, he had a beard, and his beard was serious. I love Kilroy's comment. I've never lived in a place populated enough for a photo booth. That's great. Man, you know what's really funny? We have a photo booth at my job that we pull out for the event every year. Yay. Some places I've lived where we're so outdated and small, like Moose Jaw. Wow. Anything that's named after animal parts has got to be out in the middle of nowhere.
Moose Jaw was a meme before we even had memes. All right, I'll be back. I'm going to make sure I don't have chili in my teeth.
One time. It happens one time and you get a complex. I'm just giving you a hard time.
And I've been scared ever since.
All right. I majorly missed on here, but that's the beautiful thing about paying attention is you can always go back. I think that's crazy that it's weird to me. And I've lived in places that have small populations, but living where I live is just weird to me when Kilroy says that they don't live in a place where it's big enough to have a photo booth. There's a roller ring by my house, and I guarantee you they have a photo booth in there. All right, perfect. You know what? I'm going to go all the way through on this just to give it some more integrity. So sizing on something like this is kind of iffy because sometimes I'll make something that's extra large and it's the equivalent of a large. And much like my tunic, I made something that was extra large and I was swimming in that thing. So it's hard to gauge sometimes, but I made this kind of to my size. So we're going to see how it comes out. But again, this is the back and this is going to be behind everything. I might not even line this. I don't know. Should I line this? Yeah, I'm not gonna skip steps. I'll line that. The largest cash register was in Moose Jaw from the 1880s when robberies were common in the Wild West. Oh, that's hilarious. You would pay a cashier at the front and then and then they would take your cash in the back register and send a bank receipt and change. Crazy. I can totally see why, though. I can totally see why. All right. So we'll leave that there for a minute. You need some actual light. From the balcony, Paulson Assemble says you need some actual lining fabric. You can get some with fabric patterns. I actually probably I probably have some in here. I just I live in a fabric store. I live in a fabric store, so I probably have some in here already. All right. So I'm gonna switch my angle and start searching on the other side. All right. So the serger is still 50-50, but I'm going to use it until it explodes. Cash registers the size of rollaways used to be very common. Every cashier working in a store had their own cash drawer, and each drawer had its own bell. Autofill, you can get some with fab patterns. He was supposed to get some about a month ago in black. I was. You know why? It's because I haven't gone downtown in a while. It's because it's a hassle going down there. And I've purchased so much from Modelo Man that I was going through my rolls earlier today. I still have rolls and rolls of fabric. All right, so I'm gonna line this, but I definitely do need to go downtown. I say that every week, and I'm gonna go down there, see what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go downtown, and then I'm gonna get 300 yards of fabric again. Every time I go to downtown Los Angeles, I buy an insane amount of fabric. It's absolutely true, Alibaba. It's too hot for lining. Don't listen to that gremlin telling you to buy more fabric. Yep, you do. You need to go downtown for sewing machine abuse. Ah. I do. I miss Mr. Modelo. You know what the sad thing is? There's gonna be a day where I go there and he's not gonna be there. Then I'm gonna be like that weird Kermit meme in the window. So I do need to go downtown soon. But like I said, I go insane and I buy fabric that people wouldn't, if they went to the fabric store every weekend, they wouldn't buy that much in a whole year, and I buy it in one visit. So I've been trying to reduce, says the guy who still goes to other fabric stores. But that's part of the problem. I used it. And I know I'm sitting next to Oopsie Mountain, but I actually sew. So there's a point in having all of this. Hold on, let me chat. Required fabric is required. Nothing we can do. Nothing. Absolutely. Don't forget to bring the samples and ask for the. Thank you, Alibaba. I do. I actually have a good amount of it here, waiting for the day that I go downtown. I was thinking about going this week to downtown. Definitely thinking about going this week. You need lining fabric that has the slip to it so your clothes lay properly over each other. Oh, what? Like my second trip downtown, I purchased a bunch of that, but I made a denim long coat with the actual professional lining. The guy gave me a good price. I still have his card. He's the one that told me the insane price that they pays for rent in downtown, which is insane. All right, I got to pay attention to this because it has a curve on it. Oh, let me move my mic. This is when mistakes happen, talking and sewing. I'm trying to keep the sharp edges on here, and if I turn too hard, the serger will completely reshape this thing. But so far, so good. Perfect. I'm probably going to end up lining this with ribbon like I did with the other one. But we'll see how it comes out. That's going to be perfect. Oh, look at that. Easy. Just roll around in a puddle of olive oil. That'll give you some. Ah, Kilroy. It will. It will. You know what it is? It's professional lining, and it has that look. You know what? It's in every single suit coat too. I think that's part of the issue. And when I found out how affordable it was, I was like, oh man, this is actually extremely affordable. I just need to get back down there. Perfect. Perfect. I was thinking about going downtown actually this week, but we'll see what happens. And the funny thing is, whenever I go and see Modelo Man, he will sell me hundreds and hundreds of yards of fabric, and I only spend like $40, $50. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. He is the reason why I legitimately live in a fabric store. Perfect. I don't even want to look. I'm not even going to look at my serger. I can tell it's only sewing on 3 sides, and that's okay. As long as it's securing the edges, I'm not even going to complain right now. But my serger has not been the same since it threw a needle. But I don't have time to wrestle with this thing. And every time I thread it, it throws thread now. So it's like only wanting to serge with three needles. Perfect. Perfect. All right, so I have the front is completely done. I guess I should add lining. I guess I should. This is the house of sewing. This is not the house of cut corners. Screaming from the balcony. Ah. Something happened to it. It was working and it just decided not to. I will take it apart because the serger does violently throw parts. And when the needle jumped, it flew. I was lucky I didn't have my face in it. All right. So what should I line that with? I'm not going to line that with. I was going to line it with its own with the tweed, but then I'm remembering how unbelievably hot that's going to be. I think if it's the serger is off balance, it could get worse overuse. Yes, or break something. No, just keep running it. Kilroy is over here with the pitchfork, and Alibaba and Waternay are over here with Halo. Keep America sewing. Oh. You know what? Much like a car, if it has a knock, you need to service it immediately. If it has a knock or a ping or something, you really need to take care of it. Oh, I guess I'll line that with black since I have miles and miles of black fabric. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Ah. I can't help. Now that's a t-shirt. I can't help. I'm in Canada. Man, patent pending. We'll make $1 million off of that t-shirt. Do you know, I'm still laughing. People wear t-shirts that say Ohio doesn't exist. I kind of don't. I get it and I don't get it. But like I told you, it was weird to me when I fell down that rabbit hole. I should take that comment off. On Amazon of like I just typed in doesn't exist, and Ohio doesn't exist popped right up. People, I've been there. Okay, I think this is just enough to line this. Perfect. This is why I always keep scraps for moments like this, because that's perfect. I can confirm exists. I can also confirm it's it's just weird to me. Or like the people who say Australia doesn't exist, like get over it, man. There are other people on this planet. Oh, right. Perfect. Perfect. The serger is definitely going to clean this up. That's one thing I love about having massive amounts of lining like this. When I don't know what to do, I can just go back to the black fabric and it will always help my project. Because if you look at a lot of my early stuff, I would get really intricate with lining. But Joy was right when she asked me, why do you line everything? And I had no answer. I had absolutely no answer. Ohio even has a river, I hear.
I'm here with my halo.
What's that?
I'm here with my halo and coffee.
I figured you were getting coffee. After I cut this, I'm gonna take a coffee break for a minute.
Sounds good.
Oh man.
So Kilroy, have you ever dressed up as a devil for Halloween or something?
I did as a kid. I have the pictures.
I feel like Kilroy needs like a red sequin cat suit with a tail and a pitchfork.
Do you know what's really funny? I've been trying to figure out what to do with my red sequins.
You could make a devil suit with sequin chaps.
Do
I
you know
think we're
back?
onto something here.
Hey, this reminds me of The Devil Wears Prada. When I used to gamble all the time, I went up to my room one time. I was tired. I ate a bunch of food, but I couldn't sleep, and I ended up watching The Devil Wears Prada in Vegas.
I love that movie.
I'd never seen it up until that point.
Oh, and what
This
did you
was
think?
like 6 years ago when I saw it.
Did you enjoy it?
You know what? I didn't turn it off,
Okay.
and that's a sign. I have a very like if I don't like something, I won't waste my time. But it's more of a feeling, or if like the plot drags.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm easily entertained, so that rarely happens.
Alibaba says, I was always a vampire, once a car victim. And Kilroy says, never did, and I'm definitely past the, quote, dress up for Halloween stage. I go to other events where I get to dress up. I don't really do dressing up for Halloween. Well, I did once. I wore a leather tight lacing corset over an Edwardian dress. And I went in my local Starbucks and they're like, can you breathe? And I'm like, yes, just fine.
I dress up all the time. I go to Star Trek conventions. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if you call it dressing up, cosplay. I love my Star Trek uniform.
I have much more fun dressing up for stuff like that than I do for Halloween.
Halloween do you think it's become overblown in a way?
Overblown?
As in like too much pressure? People feel like they have to dress up every year or
I think that's what a lot of people like about it. That and the candy.
I haven't stopped eating since last October. My sweet tooth came back and has not left. Oh, that reminds me. I'm sitting in a room of Reese's.
Uh-oh. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because you eat one and then next thing you know, it's 10.
If you see me dress up, call the FBI. The last fuse probably blew in my brain, and I'm probably going to do something that gets me on CNN. I keep on threatening that every year I say I'm going to dress up as a Power Ranger, but I don't have the Let's Go Morphin Time body yet.
Well, maybe the peanut butter cups have something to do with that.
I've got this feeling. This town is holding me down.
I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad tidings.
Gotta cut loose. Cut loose. Eat some Reese's Pieces.
So have you been practicing your forearm cartwheels? No, because you hurt your wrist. Never mind.
It's slowly coming back. Whenever I try to do some Hulk stuff, I remind myself that I hurt myself.
Ooh, that's clacky.
Oh, now I'm craving Reese's.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, here, I'll help you out. Carrot sticks. Sliced bell pepper.
Is that going to be like, is that going to be an insult, what we call people? Get out of here, you carrot stick. What in the carrot stick are you doing? Because to me, that's an insult.
Oh, Dose is here, hunting wabbits.
Hey, Dose, how's it going?
Oh, Dose, we had a thought for you about Star Trek. I want to tell you
myself
before I forget again. What?
I'm going to mute myself real quick.
Oh, okay. You were asking about watching Star Trek in chronological order. And if you haven't seen it already, I think you'll have a better experience if you watch it in production order. Because there's a lot of stuff in the series that are perhaps earlier in the chronology, where they're showing you like the origins of something, or they're hinting at things that come later. So I think that I would probably recommend that you watch it in production order rather than chronological order. Although if you've seen it already, then chronological order could be an interesting way to watch it again. There you go. My 2 cents. Ching ching.
For the record, I eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. I just eat a lot of like Reese's Pieces and I found licorice rope. You can't keep me on the farm. I have to stop myself from eating that stuff. I forgot how good licorice rope was.
Oh, I love licorice. You're welcome.
It's because our dollar store has gone under, so I've had to venture out and find the candy aisles of other places, and they're much more extensive than the dollar store.
Uh-oh.
I made the mistake of going to Walmart and going in the candy section. I was like this, like, why have I been avoiding this for? I know why I've been avoiding it. Do you think? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, well, Dose said, I'm a gummy guy. And that reminded me of the Kev on Stage video where he talks about how amazing the Albanese, Albanese, I think,
I eat those
gummies are, and how they're superior to all other gummies. I haven't tried them yet, though.
You know, it's really funny. I just went through this gummy phase that somebody was giving me a hard time for, because I was eating pounds and pounds of gummy bear and sour gummies. Because my dollar store, I was wondering why the price was so affordable. Okay, take a celery stalk, put a pound of cream cheese on it, eat it, then wash it down with a 6-pack. We have 2 warehouses here. Oh, I'm upset. Like, see, now I'm craving gummy. I'm gonna go next time I go to Walmart. I promised myself I'm just gonna go crazy and accept my new sweet tooth.
Oh goodness, no! Fight against it. Are you trying to get the beaties?
Sometimes I wonder if I already have it, and I'm just using candy as insulin.
It's largely reversible if you sort yourself out.
I've got this feeling.
Kilroy says, now we have gummy snobs. Jeez Louise. I'm just passing on the recommendation from
I'm obsessed. You know, I eat Habro. I eat, what are they called? Haribo?
Haribo?
Obsessed. Obsessed. And you know what's really funny? I'm still mad that I didn't buy it. At my local Ross, I walked past a 7-pound gummy. Ugh. It was a giant gummy bear. It was giant. But I feel like because it was in line, I felt like a bunch of people had been touching it.
Probably.
It's the only reason why I didn't buy it.
I want to touch it from over here. Just go.
If they had like a row of them, I could reach in the back and grab the one that I felt that wasn't, touched. But they have the old school candy that you can think of.
So
do you know we have places like that? But because I grew up with old timey people, I'm not a fan of saltwater taffy, of real black licorice, of I
love black licorice.
Anything that has to do with pistachio ice cream.
I have a poll for the chat. Abba Zaba, yes or no?
You're taking me back. Is that the peanut butter chewy thing? Yeah, those are bomb. Just smoke 10 J's and then you would eat it right up. 7 pounds of. When I was a kid, I won't get too detailed into it. I made myself physically ill off of a white chocolate rabbit, and I learned at a very young age, if it's like over 3 pounds, don't touch it. Oh man, and I always say, if you still remember it, it's trauma. Or do 10. No, I told you about that one time I ate that 2,000 milligram at the casino. I will never do that again. Jelly belly beans are good until you get the popcorn. Again, so true.
I kind of like the popcorn ones.
Ugh.
I have made the mistake though of trying the Bertie Bott's every flavor beans. They are disgustingly accurate. Some of them do not recommend. You know, black pepper is okay. Vomit, not so much. Mm. So, on to more pleasant topics. Oh, do you like Whorehound candy? No,
What's
no
that?
W in that. It's kind of like a molassesy root beer sarsaparilla kind of flavor. You know, it's that in that family.
Oh, you know I love Sioux City sarsaparilla. I love root beer. It's because I grew up with old people. That's like you know it's so funny. I think the candy is gross, but because of the people I grew up around, I'll drink rhubarb soda.
I've never had a rhubarb soda.
It tastes like root beer kind of. It's very to me it all kind of tastes like root beer though. Take a
Alibaba makes
2,000.
Whorehound. Hmm?
I've never heard of Whorehound. Take a 2,000 at Mr. Motello's. He would be like, you got any more? No, I doubt it. He looks so conservative. Well, conservative for a man who's drinking Modelo's at 8 o'clock in the morning. Is Whorehound like Ghirardelli? Is it a place like can you go there?
No, it's a
I'm not joking.
like a hard it's a hard candy, and oftentimes they come in sticks about like the size of, well, my thumb, probably your pinky or whatever, and they're like a boiled, they're like a hard candy, like a boiled candy, and usually rolled in a little bit of like powdered sugar or something.
Do you know what I've been? So lately, my son's been going to Subway, and there's a donut shop, the one that's been there my whole life. Lately, I've been getting a ham and cheese croissant, and then I get 2 glazed donuts because I'm a glutton. They're so good. They're so good. They're unbelievably good. So sometimes it's not the coffee I come in here hopped up off of; it's the sugar in my donut.
Alibaba likes the old-fashioned candies. Whorehound, boiled sweets, pulled candies.
I just never really got it. I can't say the cherry one, but I grew up with like lemon heads.
Pardon me.
I grew up with lemon heads. All the stuff they had, and with ice cream, the ice cream man had.
Okay. Oh, black jelly beans, so good. So good. No dinner mints? What? Oh, you don't enjoy like after 8s?
What are those peppermint things? I know I already asked this and I've already forgot, so you can berate me in the chat. What are those peppermint things? They're like peppermint and chocolate.
Are you talking about the peppermint patty or the Andes? Or the after 8s are kind of like small peppermint patties.
I think it was the peppermint patties. Isaiah grabbed a bag at Walmart and I ate it. It was like a good pounder too, because it was on sale. And I give my child anything he wants. Well, he's the only child, so it's not hard. But anyways, I ate the whole bag. I don't even like mint like that. Junior, no, I don't know if they were junior mints. They were round. They were wafer. They were round.
Yeah. Well, junior mints are kind of like little miniature peppermint patties.
Oh, I was like, I don't even know why I like these things. They're so good.
I love black jelly beans. So good. Black licorice in general. Are you nibbling on peanut butter cups? We talked you into it.
I don't want people to see me absolutely making love to those things.
Meow, meow, meow,
Those
meow.
are so good. Do you know what's funny? Like, I'm a human being of consistency. And after all these years, they still taste the same. When I was a kid, you'd buy a bag of Ruffles, and Ruffles had grease at the bottom. And Lay's. They don't taste the same. Reese's still taste greasy.
I think my favorite peanut butter cups are the Trader Joe's dark chocolate peanut butter cups. They're phenomenal.
Do you know, every time I pass Trader Joe's, I think of you. Every time. Wrong, Seinfeld never even mentioned peppermint patties. Remember the hard Christmas candy that always stuck together in the candy bowl? What was that called,
striped
though?
ribbon candy.
Yes. What was that called, though? It's kind of like Pan Dulce. I introduced my son to Pan Dulce, and like he's like, look, all these different colors. Look at all this stuff in the store. I was like, it all tastes the same. He was like, no, it doesn't, because all that striped candy, to me, it all tastes the same when I was a kid. And so I tried to explain to him, I'm like, they just put food coloring on the bread, bro, and sprinkles.
Mm-hmm. Tell
And
me
he was
about the
eating
blue
it.
cookies again.
I'm addicted to the frosting. I'm not sitting up here. Once again, you are confusing this story with fact. I'm going to go to the store. If I don't go tomorrow, I'm going to go on Thursday. I'm going to go crazy with the blue cookies.
But it is possible that they use flavored food coloring. So it could very well be that the striped candy all taste the same and the blue cookies taste different. It is very possible.
To me, they do. My son thinks I'm insane when I don't. Because one time he's like, "What? Just get the pink frosting." I was like, "They're not the same." And then we had a 3-day debate on why they're the same.
Someone needs to test it.
How would you test that?
With a chemical assay.
Man, that's not fun. Just give me the cookies and I'll just tell you they taste different.
You need to do a side-by-side comparison.
Do you have anything that you're particular about? Like that one stupid cookie, I'm particular about this. What is that? I still get the striped barrel pattern candies. Those remind me of my grandmother. Do y'all have a Cinnabon there? Do you want to start?
Yes, we do have Cinnabon.
Tap it in my veins. We have a Cinnabon.
I really like cinnamon rolls, but Cinnabon, I know this is heresy to some people. I think they put too much frosting on, but I like the pastry part. See, I know. You're giving me that look.
Heresy. Are you kidding me? Between Cinnabon, hot dog on a stick, that's all mall food. That takes me back to my obsession with mall food. And like when I stopped drinking alcohol, I was obsessed with bar food. I still eat mozzarella sticks. I make potato wedges with bacon and chives and cheese,
No cinnamon where you are, Alibaba? What happened? Were they outlawed in Canada? Do we need to picket for you at the border?
You know what, though? We don't have Tim Hortons here, do we?
Well, we never did, though.
But they have Starbucks in Canada.
This sounds like they used to have Cinnabon and now they don't. So I'm just wondering what happened.
Oh, I'm really interested to see what this fest looks like.
So Kilroy said, I don't like candy in general. So what is your weakness? What's your, is there a treat food that you like? Or, an indulgence?
Cinnabon couldn't compete with Timmy Hortons. Whenever I watch it, Tim Hortons reminds me of Canadian hockey, because when you're watching hockey on all the side of the rink, they have advertisements, and it's all digital now, but Tim Hortons is up there. It's always up there. You know you're watching the Canadian hockey team when Tim Hortons is on the ice, on the side of the ice.
My grandmother's Canadian restaurant of choice was Chicken Chalet.
Chicken Chalet sounds like you can get a baseball bat and an 8-piece. Do you remember Sports Chalet?
No, wait. Swiss Chalet. What, Chicken Chalet or Swiss Chalet? I'm sorry. You were asking me, do I remember what?
Sports Chalet.
I
And I'm
remember
gonna open
Sport
up.
Chalet.
I'm gonna now open up a restaurant and call it Chicken Chalet.
I think it's Swiss Chalet, but they were famous for their chicken, this sauce that they would put on it.
I have a weird question for you. Are you a chicken and waffles kind of person?
I have never had chicken and waffles at the same time.
Okay, send all your hate mail to Polished and Assembled.
I'm sorry. See, I keep telling you, my card is only second tier.
Not even at the house. Not even like with some KFC and Eggos. Like, I'm obsessed with that combination. I will go with some Eggo waffles and some like store-bought chicken.
I mean, it's probably been a good 2 decades since I had KFC, and even longer since I had an Eggo.
There's a KFC that's like, it's in the San Fernando Valley. It's in this weird island in the like, it's in a really populated place, but it's just out there by itself. My son asked me, he's like, hey, can we go to that one KFC? Because they cook everything fresh. So whenever we go, it is the greatest things in sliced bread. Can we eat the tears of great white sharks?
Alibaba says KFC here isn't so good anymore. See, when I had it, it didn't taste as good as I remembered, but then I thought maybe I was just nostalgia.
Were you there when KFC hit the UK?
Was I there?
Yeah.
In the UK?
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't really eating KFC at that point, so I probably wouldn't have known in one way or the other.
You're so classy. Every country I've ever been to, I'm like, do they have McDonald's here? Do you guys eat pancakes here? Can I get a taco here? Like, I'm that tourist. Someone told me a long time ago, they were like, do not go halfway around the world to eat McDonald's. And I was sitting at a McDonald's, and I won't say what country, and I was like, oh, they're so right.
I mean, some people like to go for the experience because foreign McDonald's have like their own take on things, and I've heard some of them are good. So, you know, like that would be like a deliberate thing rather than just you didn't try the local food and
But in
whatnot.
the at the McDonald's in Nevada, they have chicken wings and fried chicken wings. We don't have that here.
Mm.
You know, so you can go across state lines and get a different, you know, and they have these things called Mighty Wings at McDonald's in Nevada.
Okay.
I loved it when the Colonel was still alive. I got a plastic bank and the Colonel in 1976. That's awesome. I still have all of the original Star Wars sheets, strawberry shortcake. I know I'm aging myself. The KFC here will teach you to not trust them. See, that goes back to what I was saying. I'd never had Church's chicken until I lived in Arizona. It was amazing. When I ate it in LA, it was not good.
Oh no.
But I, you know, because I didn't grow up on that side of town. When I went to Arizona, man, I was eating Church's all the time. I was driving out of the way to go there, and it's not good here.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I lived in Germany, and at the time when they had no burgers or pizza places, we drove for Mickey D's, and they had a McBeer too. Oh, that's awesome. The Philippines McDonald's has spaghetti. You know what, though? I shouldn't talk trash because I went to the Taco Bell in Las Vegas, and they have like 500 items on the menu.
I feel like fast food spaghetti, the noodles would get like soggy and unpleasant.
That's why I screamed at you. That's like you literally said out loud what I was thinking. When I eat spaghetti, I need it immediately removed from, the water immediately served to me. All right,
Have you had the Philippine spaghetti, Kilroy?
no.
Alibaba says they had the Royale in Germany too, and then the Big Mac. And Dose says the McDonald's in Orlando is huge, 2 stories. Wow.
That's see, the one in Vegas was like that too. I kind of walked in and I was like, they have everything that's ever been on their menu ever, all the discontinued stuff you've never heard of. And when I was younger, when I dropped out of college, kids don't drop out of college. I dropped out of college and worked at a Carl's Jr. in downtown LA. It was a 2-story Carl's.
Wow.
Yeah. That was pre-iPhone. I bet I got my steps in every day. I bet I got my steps in going up and down those stairs. I shit you not, one of the best fried chicken dinners I've ever had was Chester's Chicken in the middle of nowhere. The best Indian restaurant I've ever had is off either the 99 or the 5 going north, about 150 miles from my house, out in the middle of nowhere. It's just really random Indian restaurant. I've gone out of my way to go there every single time I've gone. I'm craving it now. I'm craving something that's like 200 miles from my house, but it's the best stuff ever.
That's it. You can take a road trip up to Skits' part of the country and stop for Indian food on the way.
This is like before you get to Skits' house. This is like, because Skits is still pretty far.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's the right direction.
I'm telling you, when I drove to Oregon, when I can't say the town because people we love are in that area. When I drove to Oregon, 10 to 11 hours of it was in the state of California going north. 10 hours of driving. 10 hours of driving going north. And you don't have to ask for directions because the freeway goes in one way going north,
Well, see, that's what I was saying. It worked for Portugal. Perhaps it could work for California.
My German Mickey D's was in an old wall tower. That's awesome. I will hear none of this succeeding poppycock. I think it's still there. Oh, that's awesome. They even did that in downtown LA. Like, all the businesses are incorporated in the old ones. So you'll walk into a Taco Bell and you're like, why is there amazing architecture? Why are there gargoyles on the wall in here? Because they had to incorporate it. All right, I should line this up. No, I'm going to enjoy my break about 5 more minutes. Do you know, I'm going to stop giving myself a hard time. Like, my camera died. I'm going to buy a new one. I'm just giving myself time. My channel will be there if I miss a Friday So's or two. It's not the end of the planet. And if
you had a surprise live. Everyone was thrilled.
I might do it again next week or this week because my show's over first. And second, I really like doing Friday shows, but I might just pop on for an hour. Gosh, I always say that, and then someone I know pops in and says, "Oh, let's just go to the Regal Beagle for 5 minutes."
That is not what that person said.
Come and knock on my door.
You don't need to stay on mic.
We've been waiting for you. We've got hers and his, Three's Company too. I loved that show too. Have you seen the British version of it?
No.
Much like most things, we copied the British. And it originally was a British. Even Stanford and Son was Steptoe and Son. And Stanford, Stanford and Son is my show, And neither one could be shown by modern standards. Neither one of those shows. But the Three's Company one, it was loosely based. Like, it was weird to see the differences in the British version and the American version.
I'm sorry. I gotta. My mom's having a bit of emergency. Nothing tragic, but I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay, now that I have Three's Company stuck in my head, I'm going to attach my vest because we've all gathered here to see me sew. I swear I sew. It's not just a name. I'm kidding. Okay, so I'm gonna attach the pieces of my vest and serge everything together and see what it looks like. This is gonna be hilarious with the tweed top. Did Mrs. Roper wear anything other than nightgowns? No, she did not. It was muumuus for days. I loved that show. I absolutely loved that show as a kid. Every version of it, too. And in one of the openings there at the LA Zoo in the 70s, it is crazy to see how much that place has not changed. Whenever I watch the opening, it's weird to me because the LA Zoo looks almost identical after all these years. Now I have the Three's Company song. Laugh out loud, that was a muumuu. Mrs. Roper was wearing a muumuu the entire time. And it's still more stylish than what people wear nowadays. Do you think I have nostalgia for eras that I didn't even live in, but part of it's because of media, but also it's because I'm constantly looking at people's style. And that 1970s style is just something I absolutely love. She never she did. She never left the house. It's really funny. If you did that in my neighborhood, they'll talk about you. They'll be like, so and so never leaves the house. That was such a good show. By today's standards, everything that Mr. Roper did in that show is illegal. You could not be a nosy landlord like that. Well, people still try. Then the Ropers 70 looks. Don Knotts. Don Knotts was hilarious. I talk about it all the time. I watch weird movies on YouTube, and there's a bunch of free movies on YouTube, but I watched The Shakiest Gun in the West with Don Knotts. Long story short, his outfit when he becomes a gunfighter is hilarious. It is. I'm gonna have to screenshot it and recreate it. But whenever it gets quiet, I end up watching that, and I love that thing. Okay, I'm just making sure this lines up. And I dropped my phone again. All of it. Mr. Roper's comments too. Oh, he'd be under the jail. Suzanne Summers in the short shorts. Even watching WKRP in Cincinnati, they had an episode where they were playing softball against another station. And what Lonnie Anderson was wearing, I'm like, wow, you could never wear that at work nowadays. Do you think that we're better off with those standards? I look back at the way people dressed. Are we becoming more conservative as a species? As I have Three's Company just blasting in my head. It seemed like people dressed way different, and it seems like people are much more conservative now. Which I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. All right, I'm going to line this up. That's one thing about the serger. The serger is going to completely correct this. But I'm going to line it up as much as I can. Perfect. Nope, because all the guys got their asses hanging out. That is true. It is role reversal now. Come and knock on my door. All right. Perfect. That blue plaid on WKRP in the background. Les Lessman, I think that was his name. Every episode he comes with an epic suit. That's kind of what set me off on the 1970s kick. Excuse me. Those plaid suits are out of control. Whenever I'm at the thrift store, I go to the suit section and I am looking for those art link letter old school jackets. Look at Venus Flytrap. He's wearing an all purple suit with a red hat. We need to bring that back. We definitely need to bring that back. Oh, that's funny. This is going to look hilarious under my suit. This is going to be hilarious when I put this on. All right. Perfect. Perfect. I got that pinned. Almost. We almost have a vest. How much material do I have? I wonder if I have enough for pants or shorts. Do you know what's so funny? I always do that mid-project. I'm not even done with this, and I'm already planning for the next stage of this. Well, this side was cut perfect. The other side was not, but this side was cut absolutely perfect. So I just have to line it up. I'm watching two things at the same time. People used to always get on me about that because I've been YouTubing for years and years. And back in the day, I had my VCR over there, and I would obsessively watch like Akira, Wicked City, a lot of like late 1980s, 1990s anime. And people were always like, "Oh, you're gonna get me a copyright strike, this or that." It never happened. Okay, I'm just making sure that this is going to be on proper sides. With all the pinning, I have to make sure that I'm not making this upside down or backwards, because I don't know how many times I've made something and it's completely backwards. People just dress more boring and conformist now. Thank you. Thank you. People ask me all the time, like, aren't you scared what people think, this or that? And I'm like, no. When I'm done with Taxi, I think I'm going to start the Carol Burnett show. Dose. There is a channel. Let me check that, because I'm sure everybody has it, because it's one of those weird off, like digital cable channels. But in my local area, we have one of those channels that shows like Magnum PI, Airwolf, but they obsessively show the Carol Burnett show at night. And is it Laugh-In? Goldie Hawn is dancing in it. I think that's what it's called. Laugh-In. China was making all of our clothes for a while. Absolutely, Olipop. Absolutely, for a while. But even back in the day, okay, back in the day, everything came from Taiwan, but people were still dressing differently. I think it's weird to me when I see people dressing that weird Williams Sonoma Banana Republic magazine look, but to each their own, you know. But I don't judge people, but it's just weird to me. Like Kilroy was saying, it's very conformist. But I'm in a world of like construction workers and bikers, so people, it's very t-shirt and jeans. Let me move my ashtray real quick. Oh, this is gonna be awesome. I remember Laughing with and Carol Burnett. It's on almost every night, and when I remember to watch it, I do. And lately, the playoffs have been on, so I've been watching I've been watching local television because the playoffs are on. Oh, all right. So those shows will pop on after. Perfect. Perfect. Do you know I've never used this pattern before? So this entire thing is not necessarily experimental because I know what I'm doing, but this is a first with this pattern. All right. Oh, don't want to cut too much. Matter of fact, let me check that. Perfect. I had a super childhood crush on Goldie. Me too. Me too. Oh, I'm laughing because like there's quite a few crushes I had. I don't know if anyone ever remembers the movie Weird Science. I can't remember her name, but I had the biggest crush on a woman from that movie. My cousin made her kitchen cabinets. Awesome. They used to live up here in Canada. Wow. They live somewhere around here now because the paparazzi are obsessively stalking them. You know, I it bothers me when I see those like, oh, see what people look like now. I don't know who needs to hear this. We all age. No one looks like I don't look like I did when I was 25. So it's weird to me when people get shamed for aging. I think aging is a beautiful thing. Just like this vest. Let's put it together and see what it looks like. But there's this weird thing that pops up on my thing that says, oh, look what they look like now. I promise you, I don't look the same way I did 20 years ago. Kelly LeBrock. Oh, this is going to be perfect. First, oh, that's beautiful. I like the contrast between the denim and the tweed. Well, oops. I already saw one mistake. I will catch that right now before I go any further.
I come back and I see you're sitting there talking about Kelly LeBrock. Feel like I've missed something.
Okay, make sure I didn't miss. I'm making sure I didn't miss anything. Always reinforce your seams. And it would be embarrassing if I didn't do that because that's literally my saying. Oh.
So my poor mother is having quite a day. She has terrible headache. She's locked herself out of her phone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. To be fair, that actually happens to quite a few people. They lock themselves out of all kinds of things, you know?
Yeah. She had a thing about changing her password and she thought she exited out of it and apparently she didn't. So then her old password isn't working and she doesn't know the new one that she wasn't using. And now the whole thing's seized up for her protection. And, you know.
For whose protection, though? We all need edibles, dose. We all need it.
Yep. Danny Elfman did all kinds of stuff. Now when everyone knows him from his movie soundtracks and people under a certain age don't know that he did Oingo Boingo and Dead Man's Party.
You mean he didn't only do like Beetlejuice and he's one of those names that people will name drop like, I know Danny Elfman. Good for you.
Ooh. My mom is yeah, that would not be her thing. So
Yes.
double-breasted?
Double-breasted. I made it too big. But that's okay. Well, you know what? I could bring the front in, but that's okay because I'm gonna add buttons on this thing.
Well, you could also put a one of those cinch belts in the back.
Oh, tweed suit. Oh, I'm warm already. Let me get my hat. Now I officially look like a used car salesman in 1976. Come on down to Cal Worthington Ford. We got miles and miles and miles of cars at Cal Worthington Ford.
You need to go get your raccoon. Put it on a leash in your sewing room.
Oh, Cal Worthington had an elephant. He had alligators.
Oh, wow.
I
That
held
takes
these.
me back.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes
Oh, good gracious, Kilroy. I'm sorry.
Yikes. I'm so sorry.
Does
We
that
had-
at least make you feel a little bit better while it lasts? You know what you could do, William?
I like Doses Straight. Do you know they filmed that in, I don't want to give it away, but they filmed that in Palmdale, California. Or like in that area somewhere. But I look like I need a watch. I
Well,
actually have.
it's-
Where's my watch?
It's big enough that you could recut the front and make it so that it doesn't overlap so much. And also, I think it needs to be shorter.
I like the long look though. I'm weird. I have issues because of my torso.
Well,
I have a freakishly long torso.
no, I just meant with that jacket that the vest should be a little shorter, more up at your waistband.
I'm so sorry, Kilroy. When my platelets are low, I can feel it. It's like the fatigue you get, the flu combined with a terrible depression. Absolutely.
I understand.
Yep, this is winter clothes right here. I'm not a big city lawyer. I like what Dose said. Yellowstone. Should I make pants? See, I feel like if I make shorts, I'm gonna look like it's gonna look like a schoolboy outfit.
Well, it works for what's his name from
AC/DC.
AC/DC.
Yikes! They don't know what causes it, and there's no cure.
So is this kind of where you just sort of have to go in once a month to get some new platelets? Is that the situation?
Come on down to my so-called life. We got miles and miles and miles of sewing machines. We've got Surgers. We've got Singer, Brother. What used to be Juki.
And more touch and sews and you can shake a stick at.
Touch and Sews. I live on planet Touch and Sews. I'm calling this a win. I'm going to line this, but I'm definitely calling this a win. This is a boss suit. When they're like, where's the boss? And I come walking out, I'm right here. How may I help you? You know what? This is Boss Sewing's outfit right here. Instead of Boss Hog, I'm going to call myself Boss Sewing. Oh,
That's good because you're more like the brothers than you are Boss Hog.
you look like a big Enos birdie from Smokey. I love Smokey and the Bandit, Cannonball Run, all those movies. Sure, you look like a touch and soda salesman. You look like a Texas car dealer based in Brooklyn. I'll take it. And if you guys are bored, Vampire in Brooklyn is one of the greatest movies ever made. Eddie Murphy is hilarious. Oh, Kilroy. Big Birdie. See, but this is why I make all this goofy stuff in the first place, because I love having a good time. Everything in like I am so serious in my real life. If you guys saw me, you'd be like, who are you? Were you abducted by aliens? That's why I get to come out here and be crazy on the internet and be an overinflated version of myself and make tweed suits.
The
And
House of
walk around like
Sewing
I'm
is
the
your
boss.
outlet.
Oh, now I have Like a Boss by Slim Thug stuck in my head. Like a boss. Oh, I look like I'm trying to sell you a heater in Texas. Or maybe you're a fake cowboy at a theme park. No, they get really cheesy outfits. They get the stereotypical like handkerchief around the neck with the plaid shirt. I really like the combo of the vest and the jacket though. And again, I made this jacket by deconstructing an old coat that was too tight.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So this was all experimental, and now it set me in a tweed different direction. You could have been the designer of the women for the from the Drew Carey show. I loved that show. And Mimi's outfits were out of control. No, a really cheap theme park where they don't have the money for that. Oh, you know what? I feel accomplished with this, and I can even do the stance. Hold on. I like that. I laced this with denim, so it's not as hot in the back as it is in the front. Let's see what this looks like with the hat. This suit is hot. Oh, what do I do with my black everyday wearing hat?
You were inspired during a heat wave, so that's what happens.
Do you know what's funny? If I wore this outfit out and about around town, no, people would be like, hey, it's a nice jacket. Like, no one would say a word to me because people dress crazy where I live. The stance is much better with a vest. Absolutely. This is, you're waiting for an answer. You're picking your kid up from jail. Oh. I think you need a tweed suit too.
I do?
Yeah.
I like some tweed. That color's not my friend though.
You know what's really funny? I still don't know if orange is mine either.
But a nice gray, I'm totally down.
Oh, look at this. Look at that combo. Come on.
You are feeling that.
I am feeling this. My so-called beauty. Look at that. Oh. Don't forget the resting bitch phase with the stance. I laugh too much. I do have RBF though. That's the face you make when ketamine is wearing a JR sewing Ewing from. I'll take it. I will take JR. He was a boss. I'll take that all day long. Oh, that's hilarious. Come on down to my so-called life. We got sergers, sewing machine. I'm definitely calling this one a victory. Let me get my hat. It hits a little bit different with the Dodger hat on. Let me get my. Oh. Come on down to my so-called life. We've got shablams, spills, chills, big hats, black cats.
Ooh, you should do orange buttons on your vest.
Ooh, see? You see, I like that idea. I bet if I dug, I'd probably have orange buttons in here somewhere. Needs a necktie. I know this is going to be a shocker to no one, but I own hundreds of ties. From like really designer ones to 1975 JC Penney's on the rack tie. And I can tell by the era what tie they are by how fat the tie is. Like the 1970s ones are huge, you know, and as time went in, they tapered in more. In a dress shirt. I'm trying to think the last time I put a dress shirt on. I have to see if any of my dress shirts even fit me anymore. I was 4 inches in the other direction.
So if you could have a suit, this is for the chat, if you could have a suit or an outfit in any color, what would you pick?
Orange. I'm kidding. I'm on this weird. I'm constantly looking for plaid suits when I go thrifting, but they really don't have the like 1970s suits. You know, that age group hasn't completely aged out yet. Thank you, Joy. Thank you. It's making me. I love the combo. I love this combo. Time to get out a shirt pattern. I do have a ton of shirt patterns. Need a stopwatch? Thank you. I do. I have watches with chains, Joy. A ton. I have expensive ones, cheap ones. I have a weird John Wayne one that somebody bought off of off the TV. And the funny thing is, out of all the ones I have, like it's really cheaply made, but it's the most dependable one. Lighter gray. Needs a stopwatch, Pog. Absolutely. I'm loving I'm feeling this. I am. I'm about to do the James Brown in a minute. I am feeling this. Dose is contributing to the delinquency of sewing and matching chaps. Yes. I'm trying, like, I don't know how much material I have. This is a one-of-a-kind suit.
Couture.
I kept the full circle. I kept the tab, though. So I have the actual manufacturer tab. So I might give him a call or shoot him an email. Be like, hey, you got any more of that orange stuff?
And they'll say, we've been trying to get rid of that for years. How much can we send you?
And matching kilt. I really got to call the manufacturer for that. So this would be considered couture then.
Well, like home sewing does oftentimes a lot of the techniques that couture houses do because they have time and they, you know, add different features and they take the time to hide the seams or match patterns or, you know, stuff like that. So I'll have to link that video by what's her name? Oh, excuse me. I'll go grab the book and show you the one so everyone can follow her channel. She has some neat stuff.
and a buzzard feather. I've been waiting to use my buzzard feathers. That is a good idea, Joy. I was thinking about making a hat with this material actually, but then I started just diving into making a suit more and more and more, and it kind of morphed into this.
I kept thinking Claudia Schiffer, and I knew that that wasn't right and that that's the model, but I was thinking Claudia Schiffer because it is Claire Schaefer, and she has a YouTube channel and talks about the difference between like home sewing and ready to wear and couture and different couture techniques, etc.
Interesting. I love sewing books.
So
You know, I am a collector of sewing books. And if you're just tuning in, I made this beautiful tweed suit, and it is just as hot as it looks.
wool for the win.
Absolutely. This is like, even though this is like a wool blend, this is my first real dive into wool. I laughed when I saw that tweed was half wool. I laughed when I saw that. It looks. I bet if I stood on a scale, it would add a couple pounds. I did fold the heck out of this when I was sewing it too. Oh, the white sewing machine book. The white sewing machine book should be coming out soon by Katie Farmer.
Oh,
Excuse me. Dare you make a matching shirt? I need to check and see how much material I have left.
that's a nice looking jacket.
That is absolutely. You look like you could put out a California fire with one sweep. Oh man, if I could, I'd be a billionaire. Let me tell you. Oh, skirt. It is not
Skirt? Oh,
not that kind of party, Joy. London cut shoulders. I would, like, if someone asked me to, I'd make them one though.
actually, that would be really nice if you did like a duvet for your bed with squares or strips of that tweed fabric. Alternate maybe with some brown velvet.
When I go back next week, I'm gonna ask the guy where he gets a lot of this stuff. But sometimes people like they don't want to tell me because I'm cutting them out and they are the middleman.
Yeah.
You know? But he sells it to me for like, I bought the fabric was so long it was able to go completely across my hallway, and that's at least like 9 yards, 10 yards, something insane.
Wow.
Something insane.
Look at this sneaky trick. They put a harness so that it keeps the shoulders from slipping off. Brilliant.
I love stuff like that. I bet it's the end of the production shop ends. It was like one continuous piece, and it had the manufacturer label on it. It's I don't even want to look. I don't want to stress myself out with looking because I'm weirdly organized and unorganized in the same breath. A harness, how kinky.
It's for when you're kinky on the inside and nobody knows.
Structural sewing. I'm here for structural sewing. That reminds me, I'm branching out. I want to make some like Victoria's Secret wings, but I want to make some like retractable ones. The ones that pop out.
There are people who do that. I've seen some YouTube videos.
I've been looking into that. And the funny thing is, like, I was watching this one video and I was like, they sell a lot of that stuff in downtown. Like, because I was seeing, like, logistically what you would really need to make something like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or I could go to the shop and make my own shoulder harness instead of buying one.
Yeah.
I feel so accomplished though making this vest. Today has been a long, crazy day. So this is a beautiful ending to to a crazy day. And now I look like I'm gonna sell you some.
You can wear that when people come to see if they want to buy your old truck. Your new old truck.
I don't know how I feel about that. Well, no one gives me a good price, so I'll just be that angry guy in the orange tweed suit. Everyone's trying to lowball me, and I'm like, it's still a truck. I'm not going to give it to you. You know, it's so funny. Like, having a truck sit in front of my house, that's how I know people watch my house, because people all the time come by and ask me if they can buy my truck. That reminds me of the Halloween costume of the woman in the bat costume with wings. I want to get into structural sewing, but like I said, I watch nothing but sewing content, so it sends me in weird directions. Don't worry, co-host. We've done our bit. I'm only gonna go 3 hours tonight. I feel accomplished by making this vest, because lately we've been coming out and talking a lot, so I had to remind people why my name's Sewing.
See, Dose? He does so.
Very cheesy suits. Thank you very much. I hate that question. You know what? Let me see if I have one under here. People they'll leave notes on the car with their phone number, like, hey, I want to buy your truck, and they'll give me some crazy price. Do they have sewing competitions? I'm trying to invent one where but they have more sewing conventions. I've entered contests, but I've never gone to a place where people like in person have contests. Because I've known competitions, but it's more like ballroom, where people like sewing is a byproduct of what they're doing. They make their own outfits, but it's about their presentation.
They have like quilting competitions and things at county fairs and exhibitions and stuff like that. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen something for, well, certain sites will have their own competitions for things.
That is true. I want to have a sewing contest, just more for the spectacle of like me versus Pam, and Pam's like, you're going down sewing, you're going down, because that would be hilarious, you know.
I'm just picturing it falling apart into this whole like WWE thing, and
that's exactly what I'm coming. That, do you know, in all of my videos that I make, I tag sewing entertainment. Vince McMahon invented wrestling entertainment, because they were like, what are you doing? He says, it's wrestling entertainment. So I call what I do sewing entertainment. It's the quilt competitions are the largest. It's huge. That would be awesome if it was like chopped. That would be awesome. Instead of Austin's 316, you'd have sewing 316.
Oh, hey, all you wrestling people, someone explain that to me, please.
Austin 316 just whooped your A?
Huh?
In the Bible, well, he used to say Austin 16. Austin, I can't say it now. Austin 316 just kicked your. It's a Bible verse.
Well, I know John 3:16, but I'm not sure what that has to do with Austin or wrestling. I'm very confused.
It's just something he morphed into. It sounded good. He wore really tight shorts and got away with it and beat people up. I bet they make big money making wrestling clothes. There's a documentary. I watch a ton of wrestling documentaries. And there's a documentary about the man who made the clothes for Macho Man Randy Savage. The guy literally put his kids through college. Literally. He made hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars off of Macho Man. Because every
Nice.
single suit that Macho Man wore was handmade.
Mm.
All the
Sure.
hats, he made all the hats. So everything that Macho Man has is one of a kind. And even because I was watching this one interview and every single wrestler was like, that guy should never talk trash because he made so much money off of Macho Man. Like, so you can make a mint making money for wrestlers. It should be a Singer 600 series number. That's why I want to go work for the Kings. There's a guy who gets paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just to stitch logos on mesh jerseys. I watched a documentary about him. He was on TV, but he gets paid a ton of money. Jake was portraying a former alcoholic that formed a church when he lost the match. Stone Cold was born. That's right. It was after the Jake the Snake. That's right. There was King of the Ring because Jake the Snake was like turning a new leaf, and then he was like making fun of him. I believe it was King of the Ring or something like that. Good times. Good times. You know what? I really want to get into that. I would even go work for the Anaheim Ducks at this point. Oh, it was
Why
King
not?
of the Ring. They make a lot of money. Imagine doing your dream job and making a ton of money doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
And being able to go into the stadium and watch every game for free. Well, you have to be there in case like a patch falls off.
Mm-hmm.
I was more WWF era. Same. That was WWF era. WWE didn't come around until the mid 90s. Because I remember when the World Wildlife Federation sued WW at the time F, and they lost. And they had to change their name to WWE. Like, still to this day, I remember telling my brother, like, who cares about the world? Why? What is it? The world? I can't remember now.
Wildlife Federation.
Who cares about those pandas? I was so mad that they changed WWF when I was a kid. Well, I wasn't a kid. I was like a teenager. Or alternatively, instead of Nature Boy, you could be the Viking Boy. That has weird implications. The Nature Boy was another one who they made millions and millions of dollars off of because all his capes, those were one of a kind. And capes are a little bit easier to make, but let's be real, an all sequin cape would still be expensive by today's standards. You know, they're under new management. I should send them a letter. WWE. Vince is gone. I should definitely send him a letter. All right. We came, we saw, we sold used cars. We went around Jupiter twice. I'm really liking this tweed suit. It is growing on me. To anyone who's watching this in the future, I absolutely thank you if you've made it this far. Seth Rollins is the new fashion wrestler now. You know what? It's so funny. It's funny to see that, Dose. I know more about his fashion than his wrestling because he pops up for what he wears because people are looking to see what he's wearing. Remember when Stone Cold filled Vince's car with cement? Absolutely. There's all kinds of stuff they did on TV back then that you could not do now. Stone Cold Steve Austin did a drive-by at Brian Pillman's house, and you could never do that on TV. He did that on at 8 o'clock at night. Oh, good times. Good times. Well, I'll be back at it on Wednesday. We'll see what happens. I don't know if I'm going to get a camera. I don't know what's going to happen. But I do know that I'm going to keep sewing. I want to thank everybody who's here right now. Dose, Kilroy, Ollie, Baba. You guys are absolutely amazing. Joy, thank you so much for being here. Pam, Mona, anybody else, Skits, anybody else who showed up tonight. I absolutely thank you. Trees, thank you for stopping by. I'll be back at it on Wednesday. I hope everybody has a great. Let me scroll back down to the bottom. Okay. Thank you. I want to thank everybody. I'll be back at it on Wednesday. Same bat time, same cheesy suit. I'm feeling this suit right now. I am. I hope everybody has a great night. I'll be back at it on Wednesday. And like I always say, reinforce your seams, be yourself, and I will definitely see you next time.